You must learn the ways of the Force if you're to come with me to Alderaan.
Talk about stealing the show. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie characters that deserve their own spin-off.
You look like a future pedophile in this picture, number 1. Number 2, it doesn't even have a first name, it just says McLovin.
For this list, we're looking at big screen characters that we think should have their own movies. We'll be excluding characters that either shared a main role with the protagonist, or ones that already have their own spin-off on the way.
Out here, everything hurts. You want to get through this? Do as I say.
Number 10, Bill, Kill Bill.
And when I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
We're all familiar with the vengeful bride story, but how about the tantalizing tale of her ex-lover?
Bill, it's your baby.
The ex-leader of the Deadly Viper assassination squad is responsible not only for Beatrix's murderous motivation, but also for her badass swordsmanship.
I'm calling you a killer. A natural-born killer. You always have been, and you always will be.
And just like any other good antagonist, his motives are as complex as they come.
I am truly and utterly incapable of believing anything you say.
A walk in Bill's shoes would not only introduce us to a much more unseasoned version of this character, but give us an in-depth look at the members of his infamous assassination organization.
Bang, bang! Oh, she got us, baby.
Number 9, Minerva McGonagall, Harry Potter franchise.
5 points will be awarded to each of you for sheer dumb luck.
It's so easy to become enthralled in the story of the boy who lived that we often forget to give credit to the people who were there since the beginning.
Do you really think it's safe leaving him with these people? I've watched them all day. They're the worst sort of muggles.
While Madame McGonagall's relevance in the movies is often overshadowed by those who received more spotlight, peering into the Transfiguration Professor's backstory would reveal that her significance rivals that of Dumbledore's.
You should know Professor Dumbledore. You meant a great deal to him.
For instance, her early years as a Hogwarts student mirrored that of Harry's, as she took the front lines in both Wizarding Wars against Voldemort.
Hogwarts is threatened. Man the boundaries, protect us, do your duty to our school.
I've always wanted to use that spell.
Number 8, Mia Wallace, Pulp Fiction.
This is Jack Rabbit Slims. An Elvis man should love it.
If only every cocaine-addicted ex-actress's life was this interesting. There were a number of performances that blew us away in this cult classic film. But Mia Wallace's screen time, much like Pumpkin and Honey Bunnies, was cut far too short.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you pricks move, and I'll execute every last one of you!
While her and Vincent Vega only spoke briefly during their date at Jack Rabbit Slim's, it was evident that the gangster's wife lived an eventful and fast-paced life.
Trying to forget anything as intriguing as this would be an exercise in futility.
If it wasn't her infectious dance moves that got you hooked to this character, it most certainly was her taste in music. Come on.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon.
Number 7, Knives Chau, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
I'm too cool for you anyway.
Sure, it's hard being on the losing end of a love triangle, but the fact that she's an agile ninja who's just come of age and is trying to move on from a tough breakup, then that sounds like a recipe for a badass waiting to happen.
Steal my boyfriend. Taste my steel.
We already know how Scott and Ramona's story wraps up, but Knives' tale is really only just beginning at the end of this fantasy action comedy.
You've been fighting for her all along.
But what about you?
I'll be fine.
So a spin-off would be a great opportunity to hit up elements from the graphic novels that didn't make it to the film. For example, Knives' vengeful father who likes to cut busy buses in half. And who knows, maybe she'll win back Scott if he doesn't suggest casual sex. Or maybe she'll have a score to settle with the clash at Demon Head.
Excuse me, do you have anything by the clash at Demon Head?
Have you tried the section marked The Clash at Demon Head?
Thank you, Julie.
Number 6, Kasuke Miyagi, The Karate Kid.
Hey, you ever get into fights when you were a kid?
Plenty.
While we all can't resist a good student-teacher coming-of-age film, these always seem to leave us wondering who taught the teacher.
I promise teach karate. That's my part. You promise learn. I say you do. No question. that your part.
Because he prefers to live a more simple and traditional life after immigrating to the US, one would never assume that this war veteran's life once met such grand peril and worldliness, as this fact was seldom addressed in the first Karate Kid movie.
Man who catch fly with chopstick accomplish anything.
As such, finding out just who it was that taught Mr. Miyagi how to wax on, wax off would not only enrich an already classic film, but also make for a perfect addition to the franchise.
Wax on, wax off.
Number 5, Officers Slater and Michaels, Superbad.
So it's just McLovin?
Yeah.
Badass.
These two stand-up law enforcers were behind nearly every memorable one-liner in this comedy.
I'm a fast kid.
During their late-night debacle with Fogel, aka McLovin, audiences were given a taste of what a day in the lives of Officers Slater and Michaels is like, but we shudder to think what kind of carnage these two could have gotten into if they were given their own spin-off.
Can we shoot at it?
I don't know. Can you?
And that's a shudder with anticipation, of course.
All right, Michaels, I got your back. Why don't you show this rummy how we roll? 10-4.
We're pretty sure this almost never gets said, but we'd be totally down to party with these two police officers.
Oh my God, that is bona fide badass, man. Oh, you gotta keep that tape.
Number 4, Les Grossman, Tropic Thunder.
I will massacre you. I will f you up.
The film industry can be tough, but we can rest easy at night knowing that there are executive producers like this one at the helm of our favorite projects.
The universe is talking to us right now.
But honestly, while Les Grossman may have been the living personification of everything wrong with Hollywood, that doesn't mean we don't wholeheartedly love to see him at work, and actually want to see a little bit more of it.
I couldn't have done it without you, Sloan. Really? No, dickhead, of course I couldn't. A nutless monkey could do your job.
A film set solely in a day of his life would probably do more than satisfy fans of the short-tempered studio executive, but only as long as it includes another scene where he gets low to Flowrider again.
Ask, and you shall receive.
Number 3, Darth Maul, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
We've followed the stories of those on the light side, but how about those on the dark side?
Tatooine is sparsely populated. If the trace was correct, I will find them quickly, Master.
While the Phantom Menace entry in the series may rank pretty low among most Star Wars fans, the creation of a double-bladed lightsaber-wielding Sith Lord is something everyone can get behind, am I right? Darth Maul's mythos is definitely strong enough to hold an entire film, and his spin-off could serve to tie up some of the loose ends for more than a few characters.
Tell them to take off!
Number 2, Jesus Quintana, The Big Lebowski.
You said it, man. Nobody with the Jesus.
How this supporting character ever became a fan favorite in The Big Lebowski is still something we're questioning ourselves. But it may have something to do with how the character's stop-at-nothing attitude and commitment to being a total douche is completely comical, and leads you to believe that he takes the same position in his everyday life.
Dios mío, man. Liam and me, we're gonna f you up.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Spinoff or not, at least we can be sure that the dude's bowling league semifinals opponent won't be in a 50-mile radius of children anytime soon.
He's a sex offender with a record. He did 6 months of Chino for exposing himself to an 8-year-old.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Could it be? After all these years? How's this possible?
Should I know you?
How do I look?
You look good.
This is the time to show them everything. There'll be a bow. Make sure you use it. Peter, you make sure to show your strength.
Nice timing, Scotty.
I've never beaten 3 people from 2 targets onto 1 pad before.
Number 1, Black Widow, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You're fired.
That's not up to you.
Not all heroes wear capes, and not all Avengers fly around in super suits or turn green.
You know, for a man who's supposed to be avoiding stress, you picked a hell of a place to settle.
If you were intending to count this ex-Russian spy out of the superhero team, you must have been sorely misinformed about her relevance.
Did I step on your moment?
While Marvel has a lot of work to do in terms of female-centric solo films, Black Widow, along with such characters as Sif, have been unjustly represented. Think about it, this woman pretty much holds her own against alien and cybernetic threats with just a handgun.
Just like Budapest all over again.
If that isn't enough badassery to warrant a spin-off, then we really don't know what is.
Shall we play a game?
Do you agree with our list? What movie character that deserves a spin-off did we miss?
Oh, my piercing? 18 places on my body, every one of them done with a needle. 5 in each ear, 1 to the nipple of my left breast, 2 in my right nostril, 1 in my left eyebrow, 1 in my belly, 1 in my lip, 1 in my and I wear a stud in my tongue.
For more awesome top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Hey, what do you think about Trudy? She ain't got a boyfriend. You want to hang out, get high?